Hi. Today I'm gonna get my Chinese food and eat, and I'm also gonna talk to the camera, which is one of my favorite things to do of all time. So today I'm gonna be talking about why I don't believe in religion, though I do believe that God is something that is present inside all of us, because this is something that's super interesting to me, is the way that people use their faith to religion as kind of an excuse to depend on deities, these figureheads, instead of believing in the faith within themselves and within others. So that's kind of why I wouldn't say like I'm Christian or whatever. I've been baptized because I come from a religious lineage. My mother's family is Christian, but my mom and I basically have the same spiritual beliefs. We're kind of like whenever I talk to my mom, it's like an echo chamber. We just bounce off each other. But basically, what I'm trying to say here is that people, you are God. And you might slow down and be like, wait, well, like, I don't have the power to do all this. It's like, yes, you do. The power to change the world is within everybody. You have that. I have that. Your next door neighbor has that. Your mentally disabled classmate with an IQ of 79 has that. You all have that. Everybody has potential. And that is why nobody is inherently worse or better than someone else. Like, you can think, oh yeah, I'm better than this person because, I don't know, I didn't cheat on a test and they did. But that's not true. You have to separate a person from their actions, and you have to separate the actions from the reason. And that is when you start believing in the good in everybody. Because you can look at someone and pick apart their life. They could be a horrible person, but it all comes down to why. And the why could be a situational thing. It could be a mental thing. Most, I guarantee you, 99 times out of 100, why did I say it like that? 99 times out of 100, it's situational. The motivation to do something evil is situational. And while we're on the topic of that, I don't think evil exists. Evil is not a real thing. Nobody is born with badness coursing through their veins. And I think people like don't realize this is for something very like simple, a very simple-minded idea. But I think some people are like, babies are evil. All they do is cry and whine. They're so selfish. It's like, you have to understand that level of innocence that you're at when you were, let's say, even 3 years old, even when you're a toddler in those early stages of childhood, you are still innocent and you still do not understand what it means to hurt somebody. These values are all learned experiences. These values are all things that you learn. If someone hurts you, you learn what it's like to be hurt. If someone cares for you, you learn what that means to you. That is why I think no one's evil. Nobody has evil in them. Evil is not real. It's a concept that people create to make themselves feel better about the way other people are acting. Like, they don't want to convince themselves that someone else had something bad happen to them that made them act bad. You know, they want to think, oh, this person is evil and I'm just suffering. I'm the only one in this situation who's suffering. And I think that you need to like really open your mind and consider like, okay, well, this person had that happen to them, this person, that, and it just goes way back. And it could come from anything. It could come from the smallest thing, from the smallest mistake, and it could spiral into this whole development of character that changes the way that someone acts. And that doesn't make them evil. It makes them like change into this kind of mold that defines the person that they are. It doesn't make them, oh, a saint. It doesn't make them this. It doesn't make them that. It makes them a person with human experiences and choices on what to do with those experiences. Of course, I'm not justifying like killing, raping innocent children, starting wars. It's like, if you really think about it, these people are not evil. They're just, some people just do not have the capacity. It's like a childlike innocence. They don't have the capacity to understand that they're hurting others. And maybe they think that they know, but they don't. If you really think about it, some politicians, the way that they act is so ruthless that it can be equated to a level of just ignorance. And essentially, I think that that's true because a lot of people that are not good people are not very sheltered, or are not very exposed to the real world. They're very sheltered, and I don't truly understand what it's like to experience pain. And you might say, okay, well, what about these people who had horrible lives and then went on to become horrible people themselves? It's like, well, there's an argument for that too. Like, it can happen multiple ways. It goes like, you can be horrible because you don't know what it's like to feel horrible, and you can be horrible because you know what it's like to feel horrible, and you want other people to feel the pain, to soak up, essentially, that's what the concept is, to soak up the feelings out of you and draw it out and just push away your own pain. It can happen both ways, and I think people are like, okay, well, if it's this way, then why is it also the other? It's like, because there's so many different ways that people develop experiences and take them and turn them into their own beliefs, their own morals, their values. It's like, everybody experiences things differently. Like, I tried to kill myself back in November, and I took that as an opportunity to like, wait, I should do more stuff with myself, because if I'm a risk to myself and I could accidentally, without intention of my own, which was what caused the last attempt, like, if I could just take my life like accidentally, like not having the actual intention of that, then why not just do more stuff? Because some people, after surviving an attempt, they're like, I can't do this, like, this is horrible, like, if it means I have to try again. I was like, that's my sign to be like, okay, well, maybe it doesn't mean that I have to live like a full life, but it means I have to live the life I have now to my fullest. And those are not the same thing. It doesn't mean, okay, I have to live till 70, 80 and then die. It means I have to live every day as a day, and as if that day was my whole life. Like, what I'm saying is, trying to kill myself and surviving gave me the motivation to not fucking waste my time. And of course, I was in a very dark place for a few months, both before and after. I'm still coming out of that, like, now, because it's only been 4 months. But it's something that taught me a lot. And sorry for, like, the eating and speaking at the same time. I just, like, can't control myself when I have something to say. I think someone else could have taken it the same way. We could have been like, okay, well, maybe this means that I should protect myself and make sure this doesn't happen again, because clearly I'm not meant to die. And that's not wrong in any means. Like, that's essentially, like, if you want to live a long life and you get the confirmation bias from that, that is not inherently a bad thing. Confirmation bias can be a good motivator sometimes. Like, if you're like, oh, I'm already, like, if I do this today, which is probably gonna happen, it means that I'm, like, doing really well. Like, oh yeah, I'm gonna get an A, and if I get an A, that means I'm really smart, and then you get an A, and then it motivates you to do more things because you think you're smart and you think you have the capability. So confirmation bias can go that way, and it can go in a negative way, and that's why I think that it's so much better to just realize that that good thing, that good confirmation, is essentially just a gateway to so many possibilities that you could chase. Like, that's why I think humans are good, because they have that ability to be like, okay, like, this good thing happened, it means so many other things can be good. And a lot of people forget that you can think that way, because it's like, a lot of people tend to be really negative and be like, okay, this bad thing happened, that means so many other things can be bad. That's true, but when you focus on that, it brings you into that crevice of like, oh, all the bad things. Like, you get your head stuck in the sand with all the maggots and all the freaking worms, and they crawl into your brain and they give you all those negative thoughts. It's like, it could stick your head up into the sky and look at all the butterflies and all the bees and the birds and the beautiful things flying around, and maybe a bird will poop on your head, but you know, you're still looking at the sky, and you're looking at everything above you and around you and in front of you that you can go ahead into instead of down and just not moving. there's opportunity for endless progress wherever you look for it. That's the important part. You have to look for that progress. You have to look for that way. You have to look for that doorway, or else you're not going to find it. You're not going to find a doorway if you're staring at a wall. You're not going to find a way out if you're looking at the thing that brought you in. And if you're trying to engage with the thing that brought you in, you need to find a way out of whatever situation that is hurting you by being positive and focusing on the things that have brought you good. Because it's not helpful. It's like, I had a very like bad relationship with my dad, and I was like, I just didn't feel comfortable in that home. And instead of like focusing on, oh, my dad like would do verbally, physically abusive, like, and I focused on that for most of my childhood, like focusing on like, oh my god, what is my dad gonna do, like what is this gonna bring, like what kind of reaction is this gonna bring? And I realized very recently, actually, like less than a year ago, instead of focusing on that, you gotta focus on the things that bring you light in those like horrible, dark, like feeling like you're hopeless moments. You have to look at the glimmer of light and see what makes it shine. Because otherwise you're not gonna be able to light a spark. You're not gonna be able to light a spark if you don't look for what does that. Here, let me give you an example. So say you're like a struggling student and you're failing all your classes and you hate everything, but you have, let's say, you like really like to draw, and all you do is draw. You like, that's the only thing that keeps you from doing something like drugs or whatever. And even if you have, it keeps you from doing more, and it keeps you from falling deeper into a rabbit hole. Instead of focusing on what makes you so unhappy, which could be the pressure, it could be your homework like not making any sense to you, it could be your family situation. Focus on the things that make you happy, and then try to balance it with the things that make you unhappy, so that you can have that kind of balance, and you can use that tool to kind of that kind of coping mechanism to stabilize it. And for me, my coping mechanism is just making things. Like this is a coping mechanism. Talking about like what I think and my views on human nature in the world to a camera and posting it on YouTube for it to get 10 views, that's my coping mechanism. Drawing, painting all those things on the wall, sticking random shit to my wall, like literal, I have a fucking Weezer meme on my wall up there, and a hand-drawn Argentina flag, and a bunch of pose, like you see that guy with the one with the rose and the bow tie. That is a coping mechanism. Reading for me is a coping mechanism. Drawing, painting, singing, laughing, making stupid jokes, talking to my friends, going outside, going on bike rides. You have to look for the way out. You have to look for something that's like essentially a life vest in some tumultuous ocean. Like, you can't jump into a lake, and when you're drowning, you can't expect to find help from the rocks at the bottom. The stuff in that dark place and that brought you there, that's not gonna help you. Okay, I think I got my point across. Anyways, back to my main point. I think that God exists within all of us and within all human nature, because I have not finished the Bible. I've lied about this to many people, and I feel really bad about it now, because like I realize that it makes me look smarter than I actually am. I did not finish the Bible. I finished a children's version of the Bible, and I finished a few like sections of the Bible. I have not finished any like original Bible, because you can't say original, they're all translated. But I have not finished a one full unabridged Holy Bible. I've just wanted to say that I think that the Bible is very misleading to some people, because you take it way too fucking literally. This is poetry. This is like Shakespeare's like tragedies and dramas and plays or whatever. It's the same thing. This was written by man and translated by man, and these are metaphors. And I think people are like, for example, that Leviticus verse is like, man shall not lie with another man. That original verse was that man shall not lie with boy, and essentially that's like no pedophiles. Like, that is not anti-gay. Like, if you I don't want to get like too political with it, because I'm just trying to like make this topic very broad and abstract to leave whatever who's watching their own thoughts. But I think that people take those passages, they like microanalyze them, and like they put them in their bios because they have specific little words that jump out at them. It's like, that's really not, I don't think that's how it was meant to be read. I think it's meant to be read, you just leave your mind open and consider the possibility that it might not be the first assumption that you thought it was, because it could really, we don't even know. These texts are thousands of years old. And it could really mean anything at this point. Maybe, who knows, maybe someone like mistranslated the whole fucking Bible wrong. We do not know. And I think our shortcomings is where we put too much blind faith in our first assumptions and the figureheads of the church and the way that religion is so institutionalized. You need to put all the faith that you have in this deity, that this like personified version of this belief. You need to take all that faith, don't put it in something that does not exist. Put it in yourself and in the good of others. Put the faith that you have in Jesus, put the faith that you have in God and Mary and those gods that do not exist. Okay, I'm sorry. That's just what I believe personally, is that those gods are not a thing of their own. They are an energy floating through the atmosphere for any human to access. Put that faith into your goals. Put that faith into you graduating college. Put that faith into you finishing a project. Put that faith into your relationship. Put that faith into you helping someone. Put that faith into your learning. Put that faith into you becoming a better person and learning your own values as you go along the way. Because I think some people who follow religion are so strictly bound to what the Bible says. The Bible says this, the Bible says that they lose their own sense of individuality and assimilate essentially to these beliefs that are not even confirmed. Like, people say, oh, I pray to God, but I believe that when you're praying to God, you are praying to your unconscious, and you're praying to what? Because God could tell you anything, essentially. He could tell you, if you say, oh God, I'm feeling super suicidal, should I kill myself? One person's God could say, yes, that's the way for you to go. You are tired of suffering, this, that, this, that, this, that. Another one could say, no, your suffering is essential and it builds you up into a better person. And how do we know which one is right? No, we don't. We know that it's a reflection of your own beliefs deep down and the person that you are inside. It doesn't mean that, oh, God is not like telling you the right thing. This is the devil. It's like, that is where we come in with the evil is a lie. The devil is completely made up. Fictional character, storybook. No, he's not real. The devil is you and your vices, and it's all the things that you tell yourself you can't do, and it's all the things you ignore that you know that are bad, and it's all the things that you are, like all the bad things you do, that is the devil. All the good things you do, that is God. And that's why the Bible shouldn't be so literally interpreted, because you are not worshiping a God. You are not fighting a devil. You are the God and you are the devil. You are both sides in between, and you have to make the choice as to which side of your your temptations that you'll follow. I don't know why people take it so literally, like the devil made me do this. He didn't make you do anything. You fell for temptation. And when I talk to some people, they're like, well, yeah, but that's what the Bible is about. It's like, that's what you think because we agree, obviously. But there are a lot of people out there who are like, the devil made me do this. God gave me the strength to do this. You are God. You gave yourself the strength to do this. Your own good and your own inherent potential made you do that. That's not somebody else's work. That's not another deity's work. That is not a figurehead's work. That is the work of your own faith and your own strength. And that's why you're God. That's why everyone's God. That's why everyone is the Holy Spirit floating through the air. Because you are not someone else's, I don't know. You're not God's follower. You're not his worshiper. You are your own God, and you have to follow yourself. You can't expect to get anywhere by chasing somebody like basically fictional that isn't like an actual person. Like, God isn't a person, it's a direction. The devil isn't a person, it's a direction. These are both choices. And you might say, oh, what about people who are like possessed? What are people who are schizophrenic? It's like, you have to understand that this is a chemical imbalance in the brain. It's not the devil. It's not your little mythical, like, oh, this person is pulling all these strings to do this. No, it's because these people have something wrong with the development of their tissue in their brain that makes them act the way that they act. It's not some little devil pushing you on the shoulder and going, hey, 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 you know what? This whole place is gonna burn down in 5 seconds and you have to alert everyone about it, even though it's not gonna actually happen. Hey, 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 you need to go and kill this person because they're evil. Hey, 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 I'm telling you to do this. No. It's somebody's delusion is not demonic presence. It's the presence of a chemical imbalance of misdevelopment. It's like, it's not the devil. It's not God making you do all these good things, because there are plenty of people who are not religious, who are not spiritual even, who have done good things. It's not, that doesn't, believing in God and believing in whatever the fuck you want to doesn't make you a good or bad person. Your faith doesn't mean anything. Your faith means nothing except for it doesn't mean anything except for, oh, I choose to follow this because it makes me more comfortable, because my spouse likes it, because this, that, and that. It makes you between I choose this because and I don't choose this because. And there's nothing wrong with either side. I'm just saying the personal things is like, most people choose religion for comfort. They choose it because it makes them feel, oh, I'll go to heaven when I die. It's like, if you're choosing that and you're only acting well because you think it's gonna get you to a nice blissful place, that is selfish. That is the devil inside of you. That's not you being God. That's not you being spiritual. That is you using this kind of like altruistic thing. It's like, no, stop. You need to reconsider the things that you're doing and why you're doing them. And why and how, that is why everybody is good, and that is why evil is not a thing. It's a choice. It's something that you choose to do that is mischaracterized as, oh, it's the devil. No, that's not a thing. There's no inherent bad. There's only inherent good that is tainted by sorry, I'm stuttering so much because I got so much out of my mind now. It's just all like, there's no evil. It's only inherent human goodness tainted by the experiences of others who have been tainted by their own lives. It's not, you are not as helpless as you think. You hold the power to become good. You hold the power to become somebody who makes bad choices. You have the power, as long as you believe that you can do something and you put your mind to it and you really put your heart into it. This is advice that's been told so many times before, but I feel like nobody really absorbs it and like takes it into them because they think, oh, it's just words. Like, no, you have to really believe. You don't have to believe it. You have to know it, because I know that it's possible that anyone can do anything. I know that your only limits are like physical. I know that your limits, your mental limits, they can be helped. And I know that these evil concepts, these evil things, these evil people, they can all be fixed and they can all be brought to good. And that's all I have to say really for today. I'll probably film another video about this because I really like talking about my beliefs and what I think people should, in my opinion, because there's no right or wrong for anything. Right or wrong is also a concept. I'm gonna talk about that later. Right or wrong is not a real thing either. Yeah, I'm just gonna, that's it. I'm sorry, this is a very awkward video, and I just felt like I needed to get that off my chest because I was talking about that with my mom earlier, and it was really like, it sparked something in me that I needed to really get out and just, you know, mellow down. So thank you for watching. If you made it this far, comment something cool. I don't know. I don't really care. Do what you want. Have a great day. And remember, you can be anything.